What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Celestial Conversations from Chaos to Clarity. I'm Astrologer Eric Rosen, and this is the weekly astrology horoscope where I take a look at those bigger transits, let you know what's coming up for the week ahead, Viking style. It is Capricorn season. We are going to have a new moon in Capricorn this week. We're going to see Venus going into Aquarius, and by the end of the week, we will see Aquarius season starting up. It's a lot of, it's kind of slow energy, but it's very important energy this week. I do these from Wednesday until Tuesday the following week. So this is from, what did I say it was? I think from the 14th to the 20th. Before I get into what the transits have to say this week to help, understand how to get out of some of that chaos. Like hopefully no one's like indulging in the media or personal, dramas right now, and actually like using this astrology to really show up and be your own guide, be your own Capricorn style captain, to see how spirituality can actually like bail you out, actually bail you out of the challenges. Like the door that anyone doesn't want to go through is like actually facing a challenge, which is a subconscious issue that when you solve that, like life moves forward. Like you get the goods, you get the things that you want when you address it on the energetic spiritual level, whether it's the stuff that we don't want to deal with or the stuff that we do want to create and manifest and have an experience in life goal-wise. It's a spiritual journey no matter what. I did record, the recording is available for Rising of the Guard. This is the astrology that I did for the entire year of 2026. So I really framed it through the lens, especially for entrepreneurs, creatives, visionaries, that want to understand month to month what are the bigger transits happening this year, especially starting in February, but things get even more intense as the year goes along, and how to navigate that, how to like be a leader, how to initiate and take action and understand like what's coming. It's a hot, intense year. It's the year of the fire horse. It's the Saturn, Neptune, meaning at 0 degrees of Aries. I could go on and on, but if you do want to get a copy of that recording, it's $21. That link will either be somewhere around this video, or if you can't find it, message me for that. And of course, if you want to get your own personal astrology reading, or you want to work with me in other capacities, come hang out. I've had a lot of people signing up for different things, a lot of new container clients. Schedule's getting busy, so this is the time, not only in the astrology, like as these more slower moving energies with all the water and earth energy in the astrology, that we start moving way faster come February. So this is the time to tee it up. Let's tee it up. So let's talk about this week, shall we? So, really the big energy is the new moon in Capricorn. We're really building up to that. But it's also the stellium energy where we've got Mars, we've got Mercury, we've got Venus. Like, it is a Capricorn party. It is a freaking, it's like all the Leo DiCaprio movies. Like, it's the Wolf of Wall Street. It's the Great Gatsby. It's, it's all this like energy that's like showing up to like these higher level ambitions. But there's always a spiritual checkpoint with it, with Saturn, the ruler, that's approaching Neptune. That's kind of like, hey, like, make sure your integrity with what it is that you're doing. Like, sure, you have a big stick, you have a lot of power, you have a lot of pull in life, right? There's a lot of impact that you can make, right? Capricorn's very like public, the destiny, like, where do you want to go? Like, this is about choosing a lane, honestly. It's about choosing a lane spiritually. It's about not going backwards. It's about going, this is where I want my life to go. Like, this is the vision. I'm seeding this vision. I'm seeding this long-term growth potential for myself, and there's still no rush. Although I would say, little old Mercury that on the 14th today is opposing Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So it's kind of like looking at me like, okay, like we're not opposing all this Capricorn energy as much to Jupiter anymore, and it's kind of like refueling the tank on a deep spiritual level to like make sure that we don't go gung-ho and like push too hard, like out the gate when the gate hasn't opened and it's like trying to leap over the gate. It's like the Capricorn goat that's like, I'm just going to leap the gate and go. And it's like, well, we can seed some good plans and get some things going, but there's so much deep spiritual connection and nourishment that can be had. I mean, like as I've been slowing down, like I'm getting so many profound spiritual visions, like not only connecting with the ancient archetypes of just higher vibrational energy, which is so beautiful, but also just the visions for my own life and my own innate embodiment as a Capricorn man, like, but also like where things are going. And it's not about putting the pedal to the metal and like a plan or like a project right now. It's more about that slower sauntering energy that's kind of going like, yeah, like you kind of end up with the dryness of the Capricorn lesson if you make it more just about the physical thing on the outside of the reality, with all the Neptune is saying like, look, there's got to be a spiritual inner sanctum to this. Like let the guides guide you, let your intuition guide you, let your understanding of how the subconscious knowledge like works, of like receiving signs and synchronicities and energy flow, and you know, also just honoring the body when it's like tired, you know, and not, this is really like the highlight of the breakdown of like, screw the clock time. Capricorn rules time, and it's like the timing is the flow, the timing is what's the spirit that you work with saying, what's spirit saying, what's your intuition saying, right? It's that understanding, and that kind of in a lot of ways is staying in our lane. And it's like it's preparing for this kind of like more divine destiny call that'll probably become more real when Saturn and Neptune meet, honestly. It's their degrees of Aries. That's not going to be official till the 17th. It's also the start of the Chinese New Year with the Year of the Fire Horse, and also eclipse season too at that time. But you can find out more in my webinar, Rising of the Guard, so check that out. But, you know, when we're dealing with all this like air and water energy, it is more receptivity, it is more feminine. And so what is the highest octave of Capricorn when you think about it? And that's Saturn, and then it's a Pisces like ruling over it. Well, when Saturn and Pluto met back in January 12, 2020, my experience was that was the end of this whole modern day Capricorn stuff of just like, you know, get rich and be public and, you know, have power over people, and, you know, just kind of like the more corrupted stuff. And what have we been seeing since 2020? A lot of corruption getting exposed. Entertainment industry, politics, you name it. And so what I was shown was like, well, it's the way of the shaman now, meaning that it's like everyone has to kind of be their own shaman in the capacity that it's kind of like, do your healing work. This is a time for healing. This is a time for remembrance. This is energy with all this Capricorn and Pisces of like ancient remembrance of your history, your track record. Like let the ancient knowledge and memories like start to come back of who you really are. But, well, what prevents it? South Node Virgo, no, you're just a human, just fit in a box, just do a job, get the task done. So we can't let the spiritual integrity of the essence like flow more through us, but, you know, got to make sure we're taking care of our health, the body, that we're being intuitively led, that because this really is no wiggle room other than just like consequence of like, okay, you're just going to feel like shit if we deny our intuition of what it's showing us. Intuition isn't like some fancy toy on the shelf that we do sometimes when like it feels convenient, you know, or we just use logic and say, nah, I'm not going to do that, I'm good spirit. Like we need like this devotion to our intuition, because it will lead to the higher vision, the higher plane of things, the higher understanding of like where things can go in a long term in that way. And even like receiving in this, it's like the Capricorn ultimate understanding is that I was alluding to is like, you know, you receive the trophy, if you will, you receive the public recognition, not through this old modern day stuff that got shattered in 2020, but from like the ancient understanding that you receive rewards, recognition when you're doing your duty that you were sent to Earth to initiate. That's why Capricorn rules purpose. And so there's a responsibility that doesn't matter how on point at this moment you are with purpose. It's more about what are you doing in the next moment to kind of like be responsible and follow the intuition to get more on track, the destiny tracks of alignment, to actually make bigger, longer term decisions with this stuff. So this is about growing up energy. This is about growing up and showing up. You can't participate in just the modern culture way of doing shit anymore. That's like, well, everyone else is doing it, so I'll do it too. Everyone else is like on this thing, so I'll do it too. And it's like the breakaway, this is the responsibility, is the people that has to be the kind of the hermit a little bit, the Jedi, that's like, nope, I cannot be distracted by that. I have to be okay with the fact that Saturn is like very clearly like emptying out the tank, all the Pisces leftovers, and going, I'm going to help you get over your fears, your phobias, your losses, your disappointments, all your past shit, all your hang-ups, to teach you how to surrender to the higher essence of spirit, because you have the capacity, you have a physical body, you have a mind, you have drive, you have skills to achieve these things. What's the excuse? You know, a lot of channelers will say, oh, you know, just go out, do the thing, fun, inspiration. Yeah, I get that. But can we really give these like cookie cutter, you know, philosophies, right? Like, I mean, that's part of it, but we also have to pay attention to the way God speaks through the cosmos and like what it's saying. And it's very much saying like prudence, look at the long term. This is not about short term, day-to-day stuff. As hard as it can seem to see, maybe Pastor Owen knows sometimes of what we're doing in the moment, we have to really own that spiritual connection and call that in, and that responsibility piece. And that can honestly feel a little uncomfortable. I mean, but it does lead to a better long-term road, a future road. Now, it is a new moon this week that, by the way, does happen on the 19th, on my birthday. I got a new moon right on top of my sun. That is making aspects over to that Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And it is retrograde, so it is like kind of like more getting even more like information. It's kind of like a last minute delivery. It's kind of like, especially Uranus going direct, I believe it's February 3rd. It's kind of like, wait, God's given a last minute delivery. He's saying you're going to need this stuff too. It's like, well, what is it? What are these supplies? It's like, I don't know, but you'll know it when you need it. Because Capricorn really is all about the tool for the job and just like making it work, like getting by, like facing the challenges. Like there can be a grunt style work to it. Now, we are relieved by the supportive spiritual nature of it, was that Saturn Neptune piece of going like, it's okay, you know, like we'll figure this out. We need grace, we need compassion. This is not beat yourself down to your knees Capricorn energy to where you have to like be rocky and have to like get back up. It's not really like that. It's more just like, hey, the lanes are open in the universe for you to like have a dream vision and to actually go out and start seeding those things. But like, are your subconscious patterns matching that vibration? Are your daily habits matching it? Or are things too stuck in a rut? You know, this is the part where we have to like grow up and see Pastor Owen knows more. You know, it's getting over to like just any modern thing of just like getting sucked into the noise of the media stuff again. But it's also like making sure that when it comes to material values of things like money, relationships, if it's not spiritual, it's probably not going to stick. And you could try to keep it on the shelf, but I guarantee if it's not spiritually connected, come that eclipse in Aquarius, it's probably going to get cut out. This is the last new moon cycle that we're seeing before a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. And so Capricorn seeds the longer term understanding of things, of like where we need to go, like in the more ancient times, like just to get through the winter. But it's also like seeing from this high point of this really, you know, especially divine wisdom in it, the Saturn Neptune part. Like there's a divine wisdom to understanding like there is no like waiting for tomorrow anymore. Like I'll do it tomorrow. Like I'll do that thing tomorrow. Like our intuition is showing us how to create blocks of time and space for whatever wants to come through, whether it's the release or the vision or the project that needs to get executed. Because remember, Capricorn is all about like there's responsibilities, like they're not going anywhere, and there's a lot of them. And so the nice thing is that if we can follow the intuition, follow the spiritual connection, we'll always have just enough in the tank. Well, the effort will be the right timing, the way that we show up, feeling strong in it, the achievement orientation of it, it'll be good. Now, Mars doesn't like that. I mean, Mars wants to like just get all this energy on board and like achieve its ambitions and just go with them. But that Chiron that's direct, that is in Aries, that rules, that Mars rules that sign, it's kind of like, it can't be just this uncalibrated action that doesn't have any divine calculations that are playing into it. So this is kind of the end road of the mental over planning stages of it. It's kind of like planning for what? You know, like having a 5-year plan like completely dialed in, where it's like the reality is going to be completely different, and even just a little over a year from now, let alone a couple months from now. So I think we kind of have to like look at these things more so as like, okay, what are the goals that are like realistic and achievable? Like we have to kind of like keep the vision like actually like in the integrity of existence. Like there are certain laws that govern this reality, whether it's like time or resources, you know, the divine timing and manifestation, letting the opportunities come through, but also it's like putting the work in to eliminate the subconscious blocks to believe that things that are absolutely available to us in this physical reality to create this deep divine emotional fulfillment and spiritual connection to our godhood, to mission purpose energy. Like the belief has to be there. We have to nurture that belief. That's what we've been learning from the opposition with Capricorn to all this like Jupiter energy, is like, if you don't believe deep within yourself what you're really truly capable of to go the distance, then no one can help you. Like you have to be the captain of your own ship. You have to go into your personal life and like own like a deeper belief in self. And it's not scattered to think that like the goals that we have that like get us inspired and that make sense for our long term, that we can't do them all. Like if anything, the scattered energy is going, I'm just like going through life and I don't actually have like a longer term thing. I'm just trying to like get by, or it's falling for the someday effect. This is about energy that's going, no, this isn't about having a dream just to kind of like be passive about it and just like hope that it happens or hope an opportunity falls into our laps. It's like there is receptivity energy, but it's like the opportunities are going to come from still taking the action, putting the work in to it, but also doing the work that addresses any vibrational mismatches to actually let that dream come in. Because if we don't, then it eventually leads to like the hopelessness, like the Aquarius energy that's coming, especially when Venus starts to meet with Pluto. It can be like kind of out there, like, I'm not sure if it's actually gonna pan out. Am I gonna be able to overcome my fears? Is society gonna be okay? It's like, this is gonna bring up a lot financially, you know, the Venus, Pluto, and Aquarius, and so there's sure to be, you know, big financial news around that time. But it's like, this is more about how do we like own the skills and values in us, that we actually have solutions that we can offer to people. Like there's money to be made, like whatever the value is that you're searching for, that's very Venus-like. It's a noun, it's a person, it's a place, it's a thing. But then Pluto's kind of like, you know, it's got to connect to that right frequency, this higher minded frequency of like, if you have desires, bridge them with the material, but bridge them through a path of the highest frequency that you can. And in Aquarius, that's always like going to be of service to humanity. It's helping out. It's being the helper, not the asshole that, you know, thinks they're contributing to like a collective cause, but really you're just like on like one side of a debate or an aisle or the other. It's looking at the equality of the whole, right? So this week building up, this Capricorn energy like really is teaching us before this Aquarius season, especially this new moon, that it's like, hey, like you can go in your own personal direction, but are you doing it from a very wounded place, or are you doing it from this like truly spiritually led place where you've been letting the soul like kind of like guide things and guide the desires and the values to be okay with like not trying to hang on to, it's almost like when in doubt, going back to the well of like something, some familiar routine or familiar thought process. Like those are the grand moments, actually, the grand Pumbaa moments to actually go, let me like get out of like this that actually can kind of become a stale laziness, if you will, to actually go like, no, like the responsible thing to do here is to lean into the intuition of however it is that you intuitively connect, whether it's through sight, whether it's through clairaudience, whether it's like through feeling, and to be like, okay, what is showing up here in the moment, and to connect with that and then lean into that energy. Now, most of us were conditioned to think this shit's hocus pocus and that we got to like think our way out of a paper bag, you know, fucking situation with our fears, our phobias. But it's like, there's a spiritual strategy for that too. It's called alchemy. It's like, you just like don't fall into like the fear, like victim trap of like the negative thinking that like somehow reality is just going to keep cycling itself over and over again. And the victim stuff may not even seem apparent for some people, but it is whenever it's like thoughts with like no decisions, no actions that are actually like going in a longer term direction. Like this energy is demanding you have to have goals. If you don't have goals, if you don't have a longer term ambition of where you want to go, you're kind of like up shit creek without a paddle, because then it's just falling for the same day-to-day stuff and the rhythms don't like really change. So there's opportunities here to go, wow, you know, I really can go far. Like maybe I don't have like all the energy in the world right now, but I can kind of like get my ducks in a row and follow my intuition and spirit. And actually, ironically, that's where the energy is anyway. Like all the energy that anyone's searching for, whether it's like feeling like a little run down or only having so much energy, so many fucks to give, like it's in this spiritual connection of this divine transmission. We're not going to have Neptune and Pisces for much longer, mind you. It's donezo on the 26th. So when I pop in for this next week, we're going to be talking about Neptune's last hurrah in Pisces. And so we're down to the wire with the beauty that on the bright side of Neptune and Pisces, which is like this beautiful celestial connection of the sign that sits at home at the end of the zodiac, that's at the very last degree at the end of the zodiac. Like, and with Saturn there, it's kind of like, this is where we rubber stamp things, where we make plans, we make decisions, we get time-oriented sort of understanding things, and it's not in the detailed fashion of perfection. It's more just like in the messiness of like, okay, our routines, our rhythms, day-to-day life are not perfect, but you know, what is like divinely essence that gets us out of the human thinking of the illusion of perfectionism is actually making that commitment to, am I listening to spirit, to my guides, to my intuition? Am I actually doing what it takes to be a true light worker? Am I doing what it takes? Am I being at the vibration to even like be aligned with the reality that I want, or the business, or the whatever it is, whatever like the thing is? But there has to be a definition of that this week, like without like really seeding it and defining it, like, okay, this is what I'm doing, all of it, like what I do with my clients in container work when they come work with me for 3 to 6 months. It's like, okay, let's do at least 4 to 6 goals. And it's like person, place, thing, like SMART goals. It's like people have financial goals, people have business goals, they have relationship goals, they have health goals for their, body, but it all ties back to them too, like for their healing. And so it's like the Chiron and Aries thing where it's like that jig, that walk is not over, of having to still kind of like walk with the limp. It kind of caught my eye that it's like this new moon, it's like Chiron's at 22 degrees. And so this number is kind of like, it really is about just like feeling the sensitivity. It's not about trying to like create workarounds, escape it through more action, or try to, like sleep it off. It's like, feel what's coming up. This is about being in the body and feeling. Like, it's impossible actually to get lost, like by doing our best to find the grounding in the feeling. And it's crazy because it can feel hard to ground right now. There can be like energy blocks, but I think this is where we have to use the Capricorn responsibility to demand, like, no, like I want to be in my body and I want to feel like I'm the captain of my vessel. I'm choosing the spiritual connection. I'm open to being shown what maybe I'm not seeing, but like this is my desire that I'm naming. Like we're the ones steering it, and we ask for help, but it's like without that definition of that, like, where are we launching to? Where are we going? What is the plan? It's just like driftwood. And so, I think the hardest part with this astrology is like, it's the stress, it's the day-to-day stuff, it's the thinking, and it's like all those South Node illusions of Virgo that show up. And so we're almost getting these master lessons at surrender, of letting go with the North Node in Pisces and that Saturn Neptune, and that it will show us like the energy goes away and we don't have what it takes to get the job done and meet our goals and our longer term ambitions and be in integrity with this more destiny purpose, like doing your due diligence, your duty for planet Earth and her people. Like that all goes away when we lose that spiritual je ne sais quoi, that essence, that kind of like, am I doing this just out of habit? Like, who's driving the ship here? I think that's the biggest thing, is like we have to kind of like do that, and that can seem like that part is monotonous, like having to even ask for the spiritual help, even to do the spiritual things, to like go back to Old Faithful, going back to the intuition. But the real monotony is like almost like reverse escape patterns of like, it's like escaping into work and doing more of it. It's like I brought it up before. It's like the show Severance. It's like he escapes into his work, running from grief. He just checks out. I'll just work and I'll numb it out. So we can't do that. We can't numb out from like constant busyness. Like we have to be okay with like feeling and being present with what's coming up. And the nice thing is that if you have this like very optimistic, kind of higher minded spiritual faith, surrender attitude, and kind of like excitement about life of like, wow, I can go to some really high heights, and the timing is going to be more so dependent upon how well am I surrendering, like how well is my vibration choosing my timeline and then taking the actions that support that. If we're able to do that, like we're in the clear, because that's really rising up above the chaos, rising up above the stuff that's going on within the media and the world and that. So, for my entrepreneur peeps out there, it's like this is where, sometimes people get triggered by the idea of winning, but it is Capricorn energy. It's like be in it to win it. Set your goals this new moon. These are some really long-term goals. Like I want you to be thinking decades long. Like think about some of the goals like the reason it's important for the vision to slowly kind of like be received and intuitively led and not just from the ego defining it and trying to push it forward is because some of these goals that are going to be more past the short term are going to be in a different reality. It's going to look different. Like the world's going to be valuing different things. The world's going to be like turning in certain directions. And so the intuition allows us to get these like premonitions of like what our goals can be to be of service to those changes. And that's actually more healthy and more fulfilling than not being able to see past the nose and just doing the day-to-day stuff that like seems to make sense, or it's like it's the next logical step. This stuff is asking us to actually take these like leaps of faith in a higher vibrational way of living, of seeing to higher heights, seeing through the eyes of spirit, seeing through the eyes of divine, of creator, to go, you know, I can feel something big coming, but do my goals, my ambitions, my skill set, is the things that I'm doing aligning like with that, or is it going to be waiting till the last minute to jump ship and change the mind? So these are the spaces where we do get to rest and slow down and kind of like see like, where is the soul calling us towards? Where is it telling us that, like, it can sound kind of weird, but like telling us to build like an ark, like Noah's Ark a little bit. And it's like kind of like going off in the direction and like preparing for things, because this astrology really is not about doing the same like low-minded, low vibe things over and over again. It is about initiating new directions and change and excitement, but it's not stuff that comes all at once. It's like creating the ambition and the vision in the esoteric world of things, and you know, like get the vision board, like get clear, get excited, like feel it, and start to like create some plans and like the like business relationship type thinking of like talking to people about coordinating those things. And then the receptivity, like we'll go to these higher heights and we'll be able to go to these higher levels, and it'll be deeply spiritual and authentic to receive like the recognition from spirit of like doing the light work, the rewards from that, all the beautiful things. But also that the next leg of the journey, the next step up the mountain, just spiritually and logically makes sense, because we didn't try to like leap before like there was something in us that was like, this is the time. It doesn't mean about having the perfect plan doesn't exist. It's not about having perfect certainty. It's about every moment going, there's something alive in me that's saying like, now's the time to do this thing. This is my intuition is saying. And it's like, it's like, can you be okay if it doesn't matter what's going on, as long as like it's not breaking responsibility for something that matters deeply, that it's not causing unjust harm? Like if it's in pockets of space and time and energy, and this astrology does speak to like, there are spaces in our day-to-day life that we could be, you know, changing this stuff up, because that's the illusion, is that we're stuck in our like work or day-to-day life, but it's like where we kind of do it to ourselves and kind of chase our own tail a little bit with busybody work. That in going into these like changes, it's seeding that manifestation for it to actually like go further. Like there's a spiritual connection point that exists in us. We have to be the transmitters, if you will. We have to be okay with like anchoring in. It's the antenna of Neptune. It's I'm receiving the download, and then I'm making a decision that yes, I'm going to go in this long-term direction, and then building that vision, building those plans around it. But like those plans, like they don't get like launched right now, especially like the best ones. But it's not going to feel right. It's going to feel stressful. It's going to feel hard. It's going to feel like we don't have the energy to do it if we're trying to understand it through the mind. It's got to come from this more intuitively led place, that there's something new that's wanting to emerge. And then there's this patience test too, to like not get impatient and just go, now I'm just going to go do a bunch of stuff again to like keep myself busy, because that never works. It's just the distraction. So this is like, you know, ground zero for big lessons, Capricorn lessons, responsibility growing up. But it's beautiful, because it's not like the human that has everything on their back. It's not the Capricorn energy that's like, I got to put the whole world on my back. It's like, no, like Spirit, the universe, is actually the one carrying the load. You just need to be the one that chooses the frequency to come in, to be the captain, to let them hold the heaviness. And like, you're just like, you're guiding the ship. Remember, you have spirit guides, you have angels, you have things that are supported to help you at the helm. So use that power or lose it, is a lot of what this is, because it's like it's the food that gets set out on the table, and it's like, eat it before the bugs do. Eat it before it gets cold. Like, there's a window here with this new moon energy of going like, man, like, do people see it? Can they feel it? Like, there's big turns. The wheel of time is turning, the wheel of the universe is turning, but do I know my place in this reality? Do I know my place? Do I know my duty? Do I know my purpose? Do I know how to take ownership of those plans and those visions to actually like execute that stuff? And so this there isn't like punishment for not doing this. I think it's more just like it's the revelation of like months from now, like being like, oh fuck, like why didn't I act on that when my intuition said that was the time to do it? So this is the time for follow through. It's like, it's not abandoning things, you know, that keep us like moving forward. It's just still building off of like what we have, but like there's going to be a massive call for innovation coming up, and we'll be talking more about that next week. But if we don't have like the foundation sort of laid of the plans of what it is that we're initiating, it's like we're not going to know how to connect it. There's not anything built to like actually run the electric to, you know. It's like Capricorn's very like construction like. It's like you have to build the foundations, you have to like get everything set up, and then you have to like run the electric like to it, because the electric's got to go over the foundations, and it's got to like actually be in that space to do it. So that's the transition from this Capricorn to this Aquarius energy, is like there's more excitement coming for people that want to own that power in themselves, that are like, yeah, I got the goods, I got the plan, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Is there fear and uncertainty? Hell yeah, but it's like the gamble is like worth it, because it's the understanding, well, the world's going this way, my value systems have been evolving, like I keep getting the same signal, the same message. So it's like, pay attention to like, if you keep getting the same signal and same message on something, the highest vibrational one that feels inspiring, like that's the thing to build from. It's and anything else would be like the lower tiered energy of Capricorn, which is trying to like play it too safe towards like the usual like day-to-day life stuff that's like the familiar pudding, when this is kind of like there's so many lanes in the universe of ways that things can be like approached to create, to prosper, to connect with people, to get ideas out there that like make a huge impact. And so it's like this is shoot for top shelf energy. And you know, that's where we have to like have the spiritual connection to go, was this top shelf just because like my ego wants to win something to try to feel better about itself? Or is it the top shelf because holy shit, my spirit guides, God, my intuition saying to like shoot for something top shelf that's like more purpose oriented that I came here to do, and like it's going to rock my personal world and rock the world if I do that, if I show up and own that more fully. I think we all have the capacity to show up in more divine ownership of like, who are we really, and how do we own that? Capricorn is like the being in the public eye. It's how are you seen? How do you show up? It's the professional attitude of like, act like you've been here before, act like you know how to receive like the trophy for, and all this astrology, honestly, being a good, humble, spiritual person that just like shows up and does their light work, that does things from a path of service. And if you're not on that, it's kind of like looking and going like, well, what are the things that inspire me in my life that I've been like waiting on, waiting to do, waiting to exhale, waiting for this, waiting for the right moment. It doesn't exist. It's like the energy comes back, you know, the wealth, the rewards, like the positive outcomes that help us realize like, oh, like we're not on the edge of like going off a fucking cliff and like things going bad. We're on the edge of glory of like the dreams that we've been able to achieve so far coming true, and then also bring in even more on top of that for what the thing is next, of the vision that we're doing. But what ruins that? Fear, stress. It could even be like, it's just, you know, the different iterations of laziness, which it's kind of like laziness can hide in so many ways. It can hide in distraction. It can hide, you know, in being too stimulated by the wrong set of responsibilities, right? This is where we kind of, that's why we kind of got to like know our lane, where it's like, wait, like, what am I focused on? Who am I? Like, what am I doing? And it's just really just carrying that day in, day out. And I know we're all doing our best, but I guess I just hate for people to like, especially getting caught up in just like the day-to-day life stuff of just thinking like we're just humans, you know, just like living and doing our thing. And in some ways, yeah, but this is more about like, do you see it? Like, do you see like there's nothing stopping us? This is more just about like, it's more the caution of like, don't keep doing the same things over and over again, or try to rush the new thing to get away from the same things and try to like pivot on a dime, and to actually like follow this more intuitive life flow that's like, okay, like my goals are actually seeding through the excitement and the positivity and like the feminine inspiring vibes of like, wow, like fuck yeah, that's what I want to do. And it's like greasing the wheels of time, you know, for things to move forward in these things. But it's also like battery recharging too, because what happens when we don't feel inspired, we don't feel excited, it's like, well, we don't want to do it. We do it because we have to. We do it because, you know, it's the day-to-day life responsibility stuff. So this is about getting out of the illusion that we have to stay stuck on that Truman Show shit, and to go, oh wait, no, like this is how I choose differently. Not all at once, but it's like a slow sort of pivot of like the approach and the actual physicality of like what we're doing, the relationship. So what I feel is a lot of people just need to get back to like the full discipline and ownership day to day of like using the spiritual tools to do this stuff. Like they're out there, we have all the information. It's just like we need to be patient and really just give these things a chance, and actually have day-to-day things that we do that are responsible, that are built in throughout our day, and so have a flow and a faith that they're going to work, and that those structures are not there to like make things like Minecraft, like, oh, I'm doing it and therefore I'm building my 3D world. It's more just like, I'm doing it and I'm seeing what energy wants to come through and greet me on the other side of the spiritual connection, because I'm extending my, you know, hand to their olive branch that's constantly there right now and actually grabbing onto it. I think that's the big thing. And also, just remembering, you know, this, like some of this energy, it's not just the positive stuff, right? It brings like positive stuff sometimes has to come on the other side of releasing the gunk. It's all the Pisces. So it's like the grief, the disappointment, right? I would go far as to say a lot of people that are just like angry in the world right now, it's just they're having a hard time dealing with their grief. They're having a hard time with that. They're projecting a lot of stuff that is personal into like a world issue, and then calling it justified their anger because they feel something wrong is happening, when really the wrongdoing is the lack of like compassionate inner work to address the subconscious blocks for people stepping into their own mastery to start to, you know, manifest more of the reality that they're honestly designed to live. Like, it's a frustration of like, let me out of this cage. I'm tired, you know. And then there's cages everywhere. There's a personal cage, and then what can look like a liberating cage, like for emotion and expression, you know, where it's like, I need, and then the bigger cage is, I need liberation from this. I need this to go away. I need that to go away. I need that group to go away. I need that politician to go away. And it's kind of like, that is the stalest Saturn Virgo thing ever. That is like, I got to control and change my reality in order to feel a certain way. Like, that never works. It's a spiritual walk. Like, and it's not just philosophy. It's like, it's written in the astrology, where it's kind of like, the responsibility is being spiritual, flat out. And that's how we treat other people. Like, it's saying like, we don't pathologize others. We're not here to judge or criticize. We're not here to rush or tell the universe that dream relationship or that money thing or that health thing needs to be done by next week. It's going, well, I'm being the responsible leader of my own life, the fucking CEO of my own life, that's actually using spirituality to actually like allow that to happen. How well do we know spirituality? How well do we know how to practice it? How well do we know how to embody it? Because the jig is up on people that are fucking faking it. When all this energy shifts next year, you're going to see so many fake spiritual people, just, especially like social media, like TikTok people, you know, Instagram people that were you like, I don't know how other people feel. It's like, I watch them and it's like, yeah, it's so surface level, and you can tell like they're not really like doing it. It's like more of like it's like a false identity, because it could be a real identity, but it's false because it's not embodied. Like Saturn Neptune meeting at 0 degrees of Aries, we have to like actually like root in that shit and actually go, fuck yeah, I'm like, you're the fire horse, bitch. Like, it's off to the races. Like, I did the work. I did the clearing out work. I actually like took this whole Neptune and Pisces thing since 2011 and actually like let it illuminate like the sensitivities of my life of where I'm afraid to like show up that way and actually own the spiritual essence of things, and the you know, releases and that can come from that, and the divine connection. I didn't fall for the new age metaphysical spirituality thing where it's like the magic's in the crystals or the tarot cards, or like we all got to talk like this, or, you know, kumbaya, all this stuff. Saturn is saying like there's compartments, you know, there's spiritual tiers, there's different types of spiritual people. And so the Capricorn stuff is reminding us that there's tiers, there's hierarchies there too, of like, work your way out of any rut, any stuckness, using the spiritual path, like for wherever you're at, to lead yourself to that next level. And if you're not feeling stuck, fuck yeah, then congratulations, you're paying attention, and then it's about now going up to the next rung of the ladder. It's about going to the next tier, not from the old school way of just, you know, look at me, like lifestyles of the rich and the famous. It's more like how to hold more responsibility of more celestial energy to, like, you could say, help more people with it. Like, it's kind of like being the leader that's responsible, that doesn't let power like corrupt them, and that the power honestly is coming from spirit anyway. In a lot of this, like, it's like more like the current, the energy is there available to us, but like it's only making the impact, and it's only going to like be like truly achievable to do these things like if we're actually like letting the spiritual connection like show in and lead that. If we're going against that, well then I think it's just playing into like an old illusion of a reality that was just too highly physical and fake. And we've got to get back to like it's both the truly divine spiritual connection, that flow, that faith, but then also what are we building with it? So this is where the blend of the, you could say, for better lack of words, the capitalist and the spiritualist, like they have to be the same person. So seed your ideas on this new moon, take them to the bank, think decades ahead, but I wouldn't just like project it as like some logical 5-year plan. I would be taking this as like, what did I really come to this planet to do? What am I prepared to do? Short-term goals for how to like work forward for the next steps of like where we're at to honor the physical limitations of reality that Capricorn teaches us. But then also go, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to be responsible and overcome my challenges and commit to dealing with those fears, those subconscious patterns, the past, the blocks, the illusions of blocks, honestly, to get over the sensitivities and be inspired to go, okay, like next thing, and then have it ready to go. It's an important one. So appreciate you all. If you want to check out the Astrology of 2026, Rising in the Guard, the Astrology 2026 threshold, that recording is available. It's $21. Cover the big transits, especially through the entrepreneurial lens. People that, and honestly, it's a very entrepreneurial mindset that we're heading into. Like the thing of hiding in the systems of things, like it's already been stale. It's already not working for people's vitality. Like, you know, if you're gonna like be in a job, for example, it's got to come from your soul, your essence. Like the intuition's got to lead you there. That's got to be like your thing, right? So that's already ending. So that Rising in the Guard, it's like really teaching people like how to like prepare for those shifts are coming, like how to kind of like approach this year. So check out that recording. That link will be around this video. And of course, as always, if you want to work with me in a astrology reading coaching capacity, I'll throw up some links for that too. So see you next week.